Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 9:55 on a very wet, miserable night in the west of Ireland. I wasn't out too much today. I was out there in the last hour. And I was glad I didn't go out today because I was watching the television there, and I was delighted to be live watching when Ted Walsh announced his retirement. I've long been a fan of his. He calls us straight up, no messing. He doesn't need to be, or want to be, or ever will be politically correct, like a lot of the world tries to make us nowadays. I'd be something of the same vein as him. I'd say it, and if it was, it'd be my opinion. I wouldn't be trying to twist it. So, happy retirement to Ted anyway. He was great entertainment. Himself and Robert Hall down through the years. I'm watching them a long time. I'm probably watching them the 40 years, if the truth was known. I was very young that time. I was only in short trousers when I started watching them first. Made a few pounds today. We made a comeback from yesterday. Kitty's Light got us off to a good start. I was saying last night, if the race last week didn't take its toll, which it didn't, and it jumped great again today, whatever happened to her, and when she won the 2 races back, she jumped a bit iffy. Or it's a he. I don't know why I was saying she, Kitty's Light. I wonder why did they call her Kitty's Light? I never looked at the breeding today. Great old winner. That was 7-2 last night. And with another 7-2 winner with a bit of a Rule 4, Echoes in Rain. Went off, I think, 6-4 or 13-8. Even with the Rule 4, it was paying over 3-1. How do I know that? Because I had it back to 7-2. Hosed up. Loves Punchestown. That's 2 wins and a second in Group 1s in the last 3 years. We'll be watching her for next year in Punchestown again. And Zarek the Brave. That drifted out to 11-4 without the favourite. I think it went out as far as 8-1. Not sure what the SP was. But actually, we were in in Fairyhouse. So Townend was riding that day. The day Lossiemouth made its debut, and Zarek the Brave had won first time out, and it hadn't ran since Fairyhouse. Something must have happened. But if that turned out a right little horse again, it was next year no more than Lossiemouth. They're 2 right ones to have in the yard. A few newcomers on the bus. James Beggs, Geraldine Roach, she was on a couple of days ago. Zan Kendo, he was going to Wolverhampton tonight, and he asked this morning, and I went through the card, and I said I'd hone in on one race, and I thought I had an angle on it with Ian Williams stepping up to 1.5 miles, had been an eye-catching 4th or something, over a mile, down 22 pounds from when it came from France, off 79, running off 57 today, and a lot of money for it throughout the day. I had 3 up on a lucky 15 going onto it, and I had a 5 accumulator as well, and I normally cash out 1, but I was fairly confident I might do the business. I just let it run. Should have cashed out the lucky 15. That's normally what I do with that. And I had Kitty's Light, Echoes of Rain, and one on the flat that had been 4th in the Lincoln. Can't remember the name of it. But made a few pounds anyway. So probably finished slightly ahead after the few days. Good first day, not too bad today, and we didn't get claimed any day, sort of. So that's the main thing. Now I'm going to Sligo tomorrow. Oh, your man left. Daniel, was it? I see he left a message. I mentioned his name. I mentioned him last night. He's from Kells. I asked him. I had still a GA team in Meath. He was saying his buddy was very pissed off, and he said there was one bright side to look at it, that they could be drawn against London in the Tailteann Cup, and they might have a weekend away. So the draws for them, I think, has been made on Tuesday. So you never know. They've gone backwards a bit, all right, but It's the inaugural Tailteann tournament, so Tailteann is associated with the Royal County, so I wish them luck. On Sligo tomorrow, I went through the card there for an hour. Two horses appealed to me. One we backed before in Galway last year, Grappa Nonino, trained by Dermot Bell. That time it was in the ownership of Moyglaire Stud. It was second of, when it came to my eye, second of 22 in June in the Curragh. And then we backed it in Galway last July. It was fourth to Flame of Era. Changed ownership there. It's with a different fella now. But it won a maiden hurl. And then he sent it over to Ascot for a handicap hurl of 115. So if you took 40 off that, 75. So it's off 60. But if you look at the horses that it beat over 2 miles, like it was ahead of Bad, it was ahead of Pontel de l'Este, Arclight, only 5 lengths behind Mr. Freedom, Havaya, Affadil. We were on Affadil that day, by bet by the stablemate, and then Affadil comes out and wins the next day. So the horse, I think, has improved. A relation of his was Cosa. What was that? But it had improved as it got older. And this seems to be improving as well. So it's off 60 tomorrow in a mile 5. Well sending it into the Curragh. 4 to 1 shot, 3 to 1, 100 to 30. That's a win bet for me in that race. And then there's a win bet in the last race. Whiskey on the Hill ran in Cork the last day, but it was a very unlucky sort of a third, beating a short head in a nose or something, or a nose and a short head. But it took forever to wind itself up and get running. And you won't get that opportunity when you come around the corner in Sligo, because if you're ready to, if you're getting ready to run in Sligo like it did in Cork, the race will be over. But Noel Meade is the horse here, ridden by Colin Keane. Notturno. I think it's a bit of money for it, 4s into 3s. But handbrake on first 3 runs gets a mark of 63. Colin Keane rode it. Where am I here? This is it in last position.
For the Secret Sauce, then Apprentice, who's knocked back to 5th, fully next with on the inside That's Jet, followed by Real History, a couple of lengths to Bright Tree, who's racing in company with Game Eagle, and then further break to Show No Fear and Timeless Peace. Notturno is the back marker. Continuing down the far side of the track, 5 to go, it's Monovan. Front of Not Even Maybe, then Secret Sauce, Apprentice. Driven hard on the outside is Real History as they turn into the straight with 2.5 furlongs to go. Mono Valley from Slaney Tide, Not Even Maybe, then Secret Sauce. Ridden along on the outside of Apprentice, then Real History, and fully next with That's Jet and Game Eagle and Bright 3. Notturno next with Timeless Peace and Show No Fear. Racing past the 2 and Slaney Tide is sent for home. Takes over the running from Mono Valley, then Apprentice, who stays on in the centre of Not Even Maybe, being followed then with a furlong to go by Secret Sauce and Show No Fear, and That's Jet and fully in Real History. Notturno from last as they begin the run inside the final 200 yards at Slaney Tide. Challenged by Apprentice as these two going away from Mono Valley and Not Even Maybe. Slaney Tide on the inside is battling back. Apprentice though has headed it on the line, and third Mono Valley, and then Not Even Maybe.
Finished 5th. Came from last. Showed a better turn of foot, I thought, than Whiskey on the Hill. Meade has a good strike rate. Not as good as I think he's only 0 for 8 in the last 12 months. But he used to be a great man. If he sent a bumper horse to Sligo years ago, it was a wheelbarrow job. Especially if he's entered one in the horse box. And there was several times going back 2014, 15, 16, 17, around that time. If you see Noel Meade with one horse box heading from Navan to Sligo, You'd be just going to the under the blanket where you'd have it left, spare stuff, or under the pillow, not under the blanket. She'd only find it there. So there's two, and then there's one in England. It's not actually England, it's in Scotland, Bonnie Scotland. It's a 5 furlong sprint, and Mr. Cody won this the last day, and he was drawn in 10, and the horse that was drawn in 16, and 16 is on the rail. Was Rock Melody. Now, Rock Melody is with the yellow cap nearly last. Keep an eye on it.
Side, let's see. On the outside, we've got Leodis Dream showing plenty of speed. Also, Le Beau Gasson in the black and white, in the yellow with the maroon sleeves. This one is Vadamar against the rails in the black cap. We've got Lady Laid, then making ground towards the outside is Leodis Dream, also beginning to pick up. Here they come down to where it starts getting interesting. A furlong left to run. Vadamar has the lead. Here coming late is Monsieur Cody. Monsieur Cody's coming late. On the outside is Leodis Dream. Monsieur Cody's coming through the winner. Monsieur Cody is going to win it, and win it very nicely indeed. In second place it looked...
Were you watching? That was the first run for Jim Goldie. It's only a 4-year-old. Paul Morenin, that was his first time on it. Morenin is back tomorrow. Used to be with Kevin Philippart Defoy. One first time out over 6. I'd prefer to see this horse at 6 furlongs, but we need to get it on the bus because it's going to win a race or two, I've no doubt. Won again over 7 in October in Wolverhampton. Likes good ground. It was up to 88. It won off that of 81. It's back down to 77. That was his first run for Jim Goldie since October. It's on good to soft. It's supposed to be good ground tomorrow. Be even better. It's drawn better too this time. They're drawn 8. And Monsieur Cody is 9, and the last it was 10 and 6. So they're drawn in the middle of the pair. Needs to break reasonably well. He has a nice turn of foot, or she has, I should say, has a nice turn of foot. So that's, I think that's, they're paying 5 or 6 places in this. There's 5 places, aren't there? 8 to 1 shot, 9 to 1 in places. So that'll be an each way play. And 2 win bets. Anyway, that's the national hunt over for another year with Punchestown over and the bet 365. So it's the flat. It suits some. I don't mind it because you have to put the same thought and try and find an angle in every race. So it doesn't matter to me which I have to handicap. So I'll be trying my best to try and get a few winners, something similar to the angle we have for tomorrow. It'll work sometimes it won't. And we have Galway coming up in July. I don't think there's much. Then we have the usual Tralee and the Stole and whatever. But the Guineas is on next week. We'll be following, or the next Saturday as well, it will be the Kentucky Derby. So we'll have a look at that to see will Forte do it or what, is there anything to beat him. I've been on him for a while. So we'll have a look and we'll try and do our best. So like the videos if you don't mind. Any newcomers, subscribe to the channel. 2 people in Leopard or in Punchestown said to me during the week, "You never say that. You're supposed to say that." I said, "Sure, I'll say it once every week or every month, so you know, whatever. I said they know the crack themselves. They were watching plenty of them. Anyways, bed early tonight. Sligo tomorrow, and a few pints maybe tomorrow evening. Bank holiday Monday. I'll have a look now for half an hour at see what is rented on Monday. I know the Coral's on. Bash the bookies. Over and out.